My client Will has lost over 25 pounds since we started working together, and I'm going to show you exactly how we did it. Will runs his own business as a veterinarian for large animals. Think cows and horses, okay? He drives hundreds of miles a day to and from ranches in and out of Texas, and he has a really busy schedule, okay? And it's not a concrete schedule, it's a all over the place schedule. So before Will came to me, he had tried everything. Any fad that you can think of under the sun that people claim is the miracle drug for weight loss, he's tried it. So the first thing that Will and I did together was set up a plan. Will's schedule is all over the place, like I mentioned before. It's very sporadic. So the first thing we did for him was get into a habit of looking at his schedule in advance so that we can know where we're going to have time to do what. Do things like work out, do things like make food, and do things like get our cardio in. Looking at your schedule in advance allows you to prepare. And when you can prepare, you can succeed. What we did after we made our plan is set a nutrition protocol up for Will that he could follow that was going to make him lose weight, okay? So first things first, the primary driver of weight loss is eating in a calorie deficit. For reference, a 500 calorie deficit will put you at a pound of fat loss per week. We do cut carbs and we cut fat and some other stuff in order to produce a calorie deficit. So if you're trying to lose fat off of your body, you need to eat in a calorie deficit. How you set that up is the next important thing. First thing you want to do is prioritize a high protein intake. A general great rule of thumb is to have 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. After you do that, we want to then look at how much fat we can have. Having enough fat in your diet is really essential for good hormone production still, so we don't want to slash our fat down too low. We want to make sure that we have at least 0.25 grams of fat per pound. You can take this up to 0.35 if you really need to, but somewhere between 0.25 and 0.35 is the sweet spot for fat. After you got your protein and your fat down, you can then go ahead and look at your carbs. It's worth saying that you should check out tdee.net to find out what your total daily energy expenditure is. That will help you also decide how many carbs you want to have or not have in order to facilitate your deficit. For carbs, we want high fiber green leafy vegetables, broccoli, kale, spinach, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, cauliflower or cauliflower rice. These are going to be the main portion of your carbohydrates while you're trying to eat in your calorie deficit because they're filling and you can have a lot for low calories. If you're going to track your food, which you absolutely should track your food because it's the only true way to know how much food you're having, you can be a little bit more lenient with your carb sources. If you're not going to track your food, I would stick to green, leafy, fibrous vegetables. So just to recap, we have a high protein, low calorie diet that puts you in a caloric deficit. You want to have your protein at 1 gram per pound. You want to have your fats between 0.25 and 0.35 grams per pound. And you want to have your carbs as low as you can possibly facilitate them. So have high fiber veggies, have green leafy veggies. After we got Will's food together, we went on to put him on a weightlifting program. So a high protein diet in conjunction with lifting weights will allow you to maintain your muscle mass while eating in a calorie deficit. If you're new to lifting, it could actually be good enough to allow you to build muscle mass while you're eating in a calorie deficit, as long as all of the variables are in place. So let's go ahead and look at Will's split that we put him on when he first started. You can use this split. It's a great intro split. It is specific to Will because he had some stuff going on, but the shell is still there. So for his day one, we went through some kickouts. We did 3 sets of 10 to 20 for 90 seconds to get a little bit of ab work in there. We did some trap 3 raises and some internals, the stuff that is specific to Will to help him warm his shoulder up for his flat bench. Then we went into flat bench dumbbell. After that, we went single arm bent over row, and then dumbbell walking lunges, and finished with some alternating dumbbell curls. So all of these, we did 3 sets of 8 to 12 for 90 seconds, okay? That was his day 1 workout. His day 2 workout, we went into internal rotations, some lateral torso flexions to hit his obliques, some lat pull downs, chest flies, knee extensions and leg curls, and then we finished with a dumbbell shoulder press. Same deal, 3 sets, 8 to 12, 90 seconds, okay? You can use this split. It's a great beginner split, intro split. It's a full body split. We had Will on for 3 days a week, alternating days. So he would do D1, D2, D1, D2 the next week, D1, D2, D1 the next week, so on and so forth. All of these videos in the app that go with their respective exercises are voiced over, form guided by me. I have all of these videos on my YouTube for you to find. You can go and check them out. I definitely encourage you to do so that you can have the proper form and be safe while you're lifting. With Will's program, we did lifting 3 days a week and cardio 3 days a week. For his cardio, he picked whatever he wanted to do and did it for 40 minutes at a time. As long as he got his heart rate into the 140s, being 140 beats per minute. You can check on any cardio machine at the gym. They all have those little metal sensors you can put your hands on. It'll tell you your heart rate. So he went on the cardio machine for 40 minutes at a time, kept his heart rate in the 140s, and did that 3 times a week. Cardio is great for your heart health, and cardio is also great to keep you moving on your days off from weightlifting and get some calories burned. So we talked about having a plan so far, and we talked about what Will did with his eating and his training. The last thing that Will did was stay consistent. You can't just follow this plan for a week and expect massive results. The plan that I just showed you, Will followed for 12 weeks straight with no deviation, and that's how he lost his weight. We came up with a plan, we found a way to execute it, and we stuck to it. If you set these things up for yourself, I can guarantee you that they will work. This is not luck, it wasn't an accident, it works for everybody. All of my clients have succeeded with this exact framework that I just showed you. Finding a plan, eating in a deficit, strength training and doing cardio a few days a week. So now that you've seen the framework, you have 2 options. Well, you have 3 options actually. The first option is to do absolutely nothing after being given the exact sauce for how to make it happen, free split and all. Second option is to try and figure it out for yourself, which could very well work. If you do everything right, it will work, but who knows if you're gonna do everything right. The third option is to go ahead and schedule a discovery call with me so that I can tell you exactly what you need to make this work for you and your life. Discovery calls are free, and you stand everything to gain by spending 30 minutes on a phone call with me, figuring out exactly what you need to execute upon so that you can make this exact same thing happen for you that happened with Will. So let's make it happen, man. I'll talk to you soon.